It was a quiet afternoon in Barcelona when whispers began to circulate through the Camp Nou corridors. One of the club's brightest teenage prospects wanted out. According to a detailed scoop by Mundo Deportivo, 19-year-old forward Jan Virgili, fresh from the fertile La Masia academy and now honing his skills with Barça Athletic in Spain's 4th division, has formally asked the club to let him leave this summer. What felt like a rumble in an otherwise calm transfer window sent shockwaves through the boardrooms and dressing rooms alike, as Virgili's request painted a stark picture of individual ambition colliding head-on with institutional tradition. Jan stood in the dressing room, the distant roar of eSportive two-folding around him, and knew deep down that 4th-tier football no longer matched the vivid dreams dancing in his mind. For a player who dazzled youth coaches with lightning quick feet and a predator's instinct in front of goal, staying in Tercera Federation felt like trying to soar in a paper airplane. He craved the friction of tougher opponents, the crackle of tension under floodlights, the heartbeat-quickening atmosphere of Segunda or above, anything but the predictable rhythm of reserve team fixtures. And so, navigating club channels, he laid out his case. He wanted to leave. Barcelona's sporting directors were taken aback. They had watched Virgili evolve from a gawky teenager dribbling through cones to a sleek forward weaving past full-backs on his way to double-figure goal tallies in the youth leagues. To them, he remained an integral part of the B-team project, a potential jewel in their path toward first-team stardom. Yet, they recognized the sincerity in his voice when he pleaded for a new challenge. In a gesture that spoke to both realism and respect, Barca signaled they would not stand in his way, provided a suitor met their exacting terms. Those terms were unambiguous: a Euros 4 million transfer fee plus a 50% sell-on clause should Virgili move on again in the future. Barcelona, ever the prudent administrators of talent, viewed these conditions as a fair reflection of the investment poured into the youngster's development. Already Mallorca have emerged as intrigued observers, quietly tracking training reports and match footage, weighing up whether Jan's leap of faith might soon become their own strategic coup. From Virgili's perspective, the decision was crystal clear. Every time he stepped onto the crisp green of Barça Athletic Stadium, feel of dew-kissed grass beneath his studs, echoes of coaching shouts bouncing off concrete, he felt stifled by routine. "We need more," he told himself, imagining the electric intensity of higher divisions, where a single misplaced pass can turn into a headline the next morning. His ambition was a roaring fire, demanding fuel in the form of tougher matches and brighter spotlights. Barcelona, however, had their counterpoint ready. They argued that the reserve team, even in Spain's lower tiers, offered something money could not buy: a clear, structured path to the famed first team. Year after year, Barça Athletic graduates have infiltrated the senior squad. Each step in the reserves a precisely placed stone in the road to Camp Nou glory. They reminded Virgili that patience and consistent game time could best serve his long-term prospects, that occasional bench appearances for Xavi's side might follow only after mastering each rung of the ladder. Behind closed doors, disappointment coloured the club's tone. They had hoped Virgili would trust the process, allowing his raw talent to mature under the watchful eyes of Barcelona's coaching staff. Yet their message rang firm: any youngster who doubts the pathway must either bring forth an acceptable proposal or recommit to the institution's structure. To date, no other La Masia graduate has publicly declared such unrest. Even Barça Athletic's recent relegation from Segunda Federación has failed to shake the club's faith in its reserves. In the mosaic of Barcelona's philosophy, the academy remains a focal tile, and the B team its vibrant border. The institution is unwavering in its dedication to providing its most promising talents with a mutually beneficial platform, one that balances individual dreams with collective stability. So what lies ahead for Jan Virgili? Will he don Mallorca's red and black, stepping into a more competitive arena with eyes alight and heart racing with anticipation? Or will he swallow his frustration, lace up once more for Barça Athletic, and recommit to the slow, deliberate march toward his coveted first-team debut? The answer hanging in the summer air like a last-minute free kick poised to swing the game's fate, remains tantalizingly out of reach. And as the next chapter beckons, football fans everywhere will be holding their breath, eager to witness whether this teenage sensation will chart his own course or bow to the storied traditions of Barcelona's hallowed corridors.